Good morning everyone. Let's start Maths Grade 6 Chapter 4 Data Handling and Presentation. Subtopic Artistic and Aesthetic Considerations. Learning Objectives. After this session, we'll be able to represent bar graphs in an artistic way, apply the concept of infographics to graphs. Introduction. There are artistic and aesthetic aspects one can consider when preparing visual presentation of data to make them more interesting and effective. First, when making a visual presentation of data, such as a pictograph or bar graph, it is important to make it fit in the intended space. This can be controlled, example, by choosing the scale appropriately as we have seen earlier. It is also desirable to make the data presentation visually appealing and easy to understand so that the intended audience appreciate the information being conveyed. Artistic example of a bar graph. Let us consider an example. Here is a table naming the tallest mountain on each continent along with the height of each mountain in meters. Here the continents Asia, South Africa, North America and so on. Again tallest mountain, okay, Everest, and height 8,848 meters. Here when we are representing to the horizontally, this is the way how it represents. Here height is considered as x-axis and continents and the tallest mountain name is considered the y-axis. This is one way of representation. Let us see other way of representation. See, in this x-axis here, tallest mountain in the continent is considered and this height is considered this y-axis. So obviously the second graph is like visually appearing. It indicates that okay, easily we can recognize that Everest is the tallest mountain. Let us see, figure it out. If you wanted to visually represent the data of heights of the tallest persons in each class in your class, would you use a graph with vertical bars or horizontal bars? Why? Solution. To visually represent the heights of the tallest persons in each class, I would likely to use a vertical bar graph, also called as a column chart. Vertical graphs are typically used because the categories, in this case class names, class A, class B, etc., are placed along the horizontal x-axis and the values heights are represented along the vertical axis. The reason for this one is it indicates the tallest person, height of the person indicates this one, who is the tallest. Second question. If you were making a table of the longest rivers on each continent and their lengths, would you prefer to use the bar graphs with vertical bars or horizontal bars? Why? Try finding out this information and then make the corresponding table and bar graph. Which continent have the longest rivers? Solution. If I were making a table of the longest rivers on each continent and their lengths, I would prefer to use horizontal bar graph. The reason for horizontal bar graphs are the names of the rivers are long. For example, Mississippi, Missouri River. The text is easier to read horizontally, especially when the labels are long. So I prefer horizontal bars. Let us see infographics. When data visualizations such as a bar graphs are further beautified with a more extensive artistic and visual imagery, they are called information graphics or infographics. As an example of how infographics can enhance data communication, let's revisit this table of tallest mountain in each continent. We used a vertical bars represent to reflect the idea of height like mountains. Instead of plain rectangles, we used triangle shapes to resemble mountains and add some colors for visual appeal. Here, the first one Everest. This indicates this is the tallest. So we are using this a kind of visual representation which indicates this is the tallest mountain. Example of visually appearing infographics. Taking this idea further and to make the picture even more visually stimulating and suggestive. We can further change the shapes of the mountains to make them look even more like mountains and add other details while attempting to preserve the heights. For example, here Mount Everest height is 8,848 meters. So this we are representing it as if this is the tallest one. We are representing visually appealing. And Denali, North America, Kilimanjaro, Elbrus, Europe. So here, so this indicates visually appealing. Summary. Facts, numbers, measures, observation and other description of things that convey information about those things is called data. Data can be organized in a tabular form using tally marks for easy analysis and interpretation. Frequencies are counts of the occurrence of values, measures or observations. Pictographs represent data in the form of pictures, objects. Each picture represents a frequency which can be one or more than one. This is called as a scale and it must be specified. Bar graphs have bars of uniform width. The length and height indicates the total frequency or occurrence. The scale that is used to convert length or height to frequency again must be again specified. Choosing the appropriate scale for pictograph or bar graphs is important to accurately or effectively convey the desired information or data and to also make it visually appealing. Thank you.